Good morning, everybody. It's Captain John Brown, the nobleman from the Gulf Coast of Florida, Homosassa Springs, Inshore Addiction Charters. Well, it's Thursday, December 7th, and you know what that means. Tomorrow we will be leaving to go fishing. We're going to fish this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. But before we go, I thought I'd go over some of the products that I and my clients use to catch snook, trout, and redfish on the Gulf Coast of Florida. So, without further ado, here we go. Let's dive in. This little guy right here is the first product I want to go over with you. It's a Diawa BG 3000. And this reel was reviewed, or recommended, I should say, by Bill over at Blue Water Tackle and Bait in Homosassa, Florida. He's in the Servo Square. Right there on the main road coming in. It's primarily where I get all my bait from. Really nice guy. He's been fishing Homosassa Springs for over 50 years. Great information. And sometimes he forgets to count how many shrimp you ask for, which is even better. So the reason that he likes this product is you have a lot of different price points when you're dealing with tackle. I mean, you can have a good spinning reel, under $100 in some cases. A lot of them are double that, or even triple or quadruple that. But he and I have had a lot of in-depth conversations. I've had a lot of in-depth conversations with different guides around the Gulf Coast and things like that, all over Florida really. And this is one of the best built reels and rods I'm going to go over with you as well, for the money that you can possibly get for inshore fishing. This reel features a 5:6:1 ratio, so that's going to give you a 37.4 inch spool turn, which is quite aggressive. It features 7 total ball bearings. It's made by Diawa, big leader in the game, and it has a maximum drag of 15.4 pounds and weighs in at 10.8 ounces. It's not the lightest reel in the world. If you were fishing this on like maybe a G Loomis or a extremely custom rod, it may be a little on the heavier side. But this reel, or this rod and reel combo that I'm going to talk to you about, is priced just a little over $300, fully equipped, without line, of course. And I'll put the links in the description on these products as well for you, because they're great products for the money. I fish rods all the way up to the $400 rods and all the way under $100. And this is a sweet spot that I'm giving you today for the best value for the price point, in my belief structure anyway. So those are some of the schematics on the actual reel itself. And this is the baby. It's got a very nice design, smooth rotor system. The drag on this reel for its price point is extremely, extremely smooth. By the way, when you store your reels, either in your rod lockers or you're done fishing for the weekend and you rinse them, you put your inhibitors on them, whatever the case, to get the salt off so you can avoid corrosion, things like that, back your drags off. These drags are compressed, so if they just stay compressed, much like memory in a carpet, like if you set furniture on the carpet for long periods of time and stuff like that, it takes a long time for that to kind of unfluff. You have to scrub it, hit it with the vacuum, all that kind of stuff. These drags and these reels work very similar to this. I'm going to go over Shimano as well. They have a little bit different drag system on their setups, especially the new Shimano Stratix. They talked about having a new drag system at ICAST with a little bit different compression this year, but either way, you want to do this because it allows that drag system to not maintain its memory, which allows for a smoother drag on hook sets and while you're under a fight on a load. So it's a very good feel on it. It's got a nice, hand grip on the design. If you look closely in here, this particular reel is probably almost a year and a half old, and it doesn't have any scrapes or bruises or any of the finish coming off. I wear this ring 24/7, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here in a second when I pull out my Stratic that's the same age. As far as rods go, this one is on a custom rod. This is the Salt Strong slot machine. And this is one of my custom rods. This is only available through Salt Strong, or Fish Strong as they call it now. This particular setup is a medium action fast with an 8 to 15 pound line ratio and a 1/8 to 1/2 ounce ratio for your lure weight. I typically fish this with a artificial soft plastic on like a 1/8 ounce jig head. It's got a really strong backbone and it casts very, very far. It's an expensive rod in my opinion, and I don't think they did that great of a job on the build quality of this product, the finish quality. If you look closely, you can maybe see it. Yeah, there's a little discolorment in the finish of this rod, and I don't know if that's just from oil in the manufacturing or whatever. I've also got a pretty good scrape going down it just from putting it in and out of my my rod locker system on the Sportsman. So for a rod that's north of $300, I'm not impressed with the finish quality of this product, but I am impressed with its fishability, which is the most important thing. My other rods that are less expensive had beautiful fits and finishes, and they fish great. This is a better performing rod, but there again, it is substantially more expensive than the other ones that I'm going to show you. I think this was about, shipped to my door, I think it was about $308, and that was with my discount for being an insider member as well. So this was definitely a higher price point. Then I was going back to the Diawa BG, and I'll show you when I compare the other two that I'm going to compare, there's not a lot of difference in this. This reel is actually very easy to break down and reconstruct, whether you do it professionally like at a tackle store or you do it yourself at home. You can tear this baby down and redo it, and it's as smooth as it was the day you opened it up. And that's the main thing about this, is its overall fishability, durability, and corrosion resistance, because we're putting these things in and out of salt all the time, right? So some of them are built to withstand that type of corrosive environment, and some of them are not. And this has an aluminum constructed frame, so that helps out with that not being, able to take the corrosion. Naturally, you still want to do inhibitors, you still want to keep them oiled. Real Magic's a great product to do that with, and just take good care of your stuff, and it'll take good care of you, especially when you're out on the water. You don't want that thing, jamming up or the worm gear frying on you and stuff like that. The predominant rod that I actually fish those reels on, I own 3 of them. 4 of them is a Bulls Bay Banshee, which is a tan colored rod that Bulls Bay out of Lakeland, Florida, Bull Bay, produced, and it won lots of awards for being a fantastic, voted one of the best inshore rods at all. That's a medium action with a fast tip as well, and basically same line ratios. I fish all those with a 15-pound 8X braid. You definitely want to fish 8X braid because it puts a good coating around the line for it to maintain its sensitivity and its strength. And you want to keep your lure weight within those guidelines, preferably right in the middle. That's where you're going to find that it's going to perform the best. Same thing with lines. You don't want to take an 6 to 12 pound medium action rod and throw 20-pound line on it. They didn't design it to perform at its best that way, and you want the most castability and sensitivity you can get when you're out there on the water, where you can feel those little bumps from either the bait fish or just overall sensitivity is important. And when you match that weight with the actual rod blank that you're using, you're going to have better long distance castability and also better accuracy to try and get it up under a mangrove or sling it right where you want off the point so the current carries it back like you want to, and things of that nature. So it's going to affect the performance of your fishing as well. And then it'll help you put more fish in the boat. But the Diawa BG, for the price point, with the Bull Bay rod being approximately $178 full retail price plus taxes. With these Diawa BGs, you probably catch them on sale at $109. Like I said, I'll put links in the description. You could pay around $129 for them, but that's the general price point, about $109 to $129 plus taxes. And for the money, clocking in at just over $300, that's a fantastic setup. Bull Bay Banshee, medium action, 6 to 12 pound line, fast tip, Diawa BG 3000, gets a thumbs up for the money, right? So we're gonna step it up a notch here, and I'm gonna take you over to the BGMQ, which is a magnesium build frame, I believe. Not so much constructed just for salt. Aluminum would be better in that corrosive environment if we want to look at that as a factor. But the BG is the man. It's a smooth drag system, smoother than my Stratic 3000 by a good clip. It's extremely lightweight. It casts extremely far, and it's a fantastic reel if you take good care of it, even in corrosive environments. If you're using inhibitors and keeping them oiled, breaking them down every now and again, and other one's got very similar construction to the BG series, the MQ. Your reels will last a long time. My clients enjoy these. We're going to be a distributor for Bull Bay soon. I just think it's a great, fantastic rod for the money, so I'm going to promote it not only on this channel, but also to my clients as well. I'm from Lakeland as well, and they're built and manufactured in Lakeland, so that's my hometown. That might have just a little bit to do with it. Anyway, to each their own. And this reel is extremely sexy and lightweight. It has a ridiculously smooth dragging system on it. I mean, it's very, very, very smooth. Very, very, very smooth under a load as well. Under a load, this reel performs better than a Stratic and is slightly less expensive. This bad boy comes in at a little bit higher price point. I have it set up on a Bull Bay as well. This one is the Sniper. It is a 7.6, I believe. Yep, 6 to 12, medium action, fast tip as well. The difference between the Sniper and the Banshee is it just has a little bit upgraded eyelets, primarily for corrosion and maybe a little bit of sensitivity, but it's a very similar blank. Might have slightly more backbone, and it's about $10 or $12 more expensive. Nothing really in the grand scheme of things. This setup here will come in at a little bit heftier price tag naturally because of the cost of the reel. Shout out to Eli's Marine over in Umatilla, Florida. He sells and is a distributor for Bull Bay and these reels as well. You can often get a little bit better deal with him if you're local. Like I said, I'm going to put links in the description of this video so that if you guys want to play Santa Claus, or you're playing Santa Claus or Santa's elf, whatever, you might could put one of these little puppies in your stocking for Christmas. And this reel usually pops in at about $199 price point. You might could pick it up a little bit less. I've seen them for $229, so kind of in that range. If you mix it with this rod combo, of course you're going to be close to the $200 or $400 mark total complete, and this is going to step up into not custom but close, and very, very sensitive setup. It holds very, very well. This one has got some more characteristics that's nicer than obviously the BGMQ. It's obviously similar packaging. They're both made by Diawa. This one's going to whop in at a 6:1 ratio with a 36.8 inch spool completion. So a little bit less, but still very fair. You can catch up to a fish really quick on this. It's extremely smooth. You have a total of 8 bearings in this one, and it comes in at a whopping 7.1 ounces. So it's extremely light. This is because of the magnesium construction, I believe. And first, both those reels are extremely similar in rod reel capacity as far as that kind of stuff goes. I fish everything with a 15-pound 8X braid down there, so pretty much identical line capacity on both of those. Just a little bit less on the actual MQ, but still plenty of line. Even if you were to get on a little baby tarpon or something like that, you'd be good to go. The next one I want to talk about is the Stratic. Infamous Shimano has been a massive player in the game. So is Diawa for many, many years. As I was speaking earlier, they did a reconstruction on the actual Stratic. They wanted to actually keep the Stratic at around a $200 price point. This is the 3000 series I'm fixing to show you. I paid $229 for mine about a year and a half ago. It is a fantastic reel. Fantastic product. It's very smooth. It's also lightweight. This is a 3000 XG series, and this guy has got a 6:1 ratio, so your spool completion is going to turn 37 inches total. Again, very similar. You have a weight on this one of 7.9 ounces, so about 10%, 11% heavier than the BGMQ series, and a total of 7 ball bearings. And line capacity on this one is a 8-pound diameter at 170. So as far as the MQ, you get quite a bit more line on the BG series and the actual MQ series as well. About 10 yards, not on the actual MQ. You get 10 yards less on the MQ, 10 yards more on the Stratic. BG beats both of them and a lower price point. 7 ball bearings in the BG 3000, 7 ball bearings in the actual Stratic 3000. So as far as components and machinery goes, you're looking at a $229 reel on the Stratic as well. So the drag system on the BGMQ is not quite what it is on the Stratic, but you're talking about $100 difference in this price point as well. Stratic 3000 MQ series. Very, very smooth. One thing that I did notice, if you look closely, it's about 1.5 years old. And so I've got some finish coming off right here on the Stratic. This is going to be based upon the build quality. And like I say, still a very fantastic reel. This is what Jessica fishes with nonstop. It's her favorite setup. This one is on one of Bulls Bay's nicer rods. This is a Bolt. It's got a nice kind of a flashy emeraldish kind of aqua green color. This one's also a 7/6 medium, 6 to 12 pound line ratio, fast action. Your lure weight on this one is going to be probably the same. It's not actually on here, but I would assume it's in the 1/8 to half, maybe 5/8 range as far as that kind of stuff goes. I'm surprised it's not actually on the rod. This setup together is very, very good based upon the weight. If I hold this, basically the way that I fish it, and there wasn't a 4 horseman bobber on it, and I let it go, it would almost just balance just straight. I'd have almost no rod weight, full sensitivity, no resistance, basically, which is what you look for, those balances. These are primarily fished with popping corks, soft plastic jerk baits, sometimes under a cork live shrimp, cut mullet, or a ladyfish as well, that we all use down there in the Gulf Coast of Florida. So, as I said, I'm going to put links in the description for these products. The #1 winner is the Bull Bay Banshee medium action. They also make a medium heavy 7.4, which I own several of those as well. They're fantastic rods. One thing about Bull Bay is it's lifetime warranted. So if you crack one while you're fishing, you can do a warranty process with a local distribution company or go to Bulls Bay in Lakeland, and for approximately 40 bucks, they'll swap the rod out. Their customer service is impeccable. They want to take good care of their customers. But if you're looking for that $400 price point, you could step up to the MQ series on the Bull Bay Bolt, puts you back about probably $400 to $450. If you're looking for something a little bit more affordable that performs 85% as good, Bull Bay Banshee and Diawa BG MQ. All right, that's it for today. I'm gonna load this puppy up because we're leaving tomorrow. I'll do a pre-trip plan with you because we're actually gonna be fishing some warming conditions. In Claremont, Florida this morning, it was 50 degrees. Homosassa Springs on Saturday, it's gonna be 79. So the fish are gonna be moving out. So I'm gonna go over some of my spots and reasons why we're gonna target those spots and in my pre-trip review for you. If you like the information, this is to help you become a better angler and give you reviews on products so you can become a better fisherman. Like and subscribe, there'll be more to come. It's gonna be awesome. You guys have a fantastic Thursday. I'm out.